Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between high mountains and deep rivers, there lived a boy named Eli. Eli was a dreamer, often staring at the skies and wishing he could touch the clouds. He wanted to be more than just a shepherd like his father. Every day, he watched the storms roll in, dark and swirling. He wondered if he could ever master the power of storms and control the winds. One sunny afternoon, while Eli was tending to his sheep, he met an old man by the river. The man had wild gray hair and wore a robe that flowed like the wind. His name was Aaron, and he was known in the village as the Storm Keeper. People whispered that he could talk to the storms and even ride the winds. "Why do you stare at the sky, young one?" Aaron asked with a twinkle in his eye. "I want to be like you," Eli replied. "I want to control the storms." Aaron smiled gently. "To be an apprentice of the storm, you need to learn respect and patience. Are you ready for that?" Eli nodded eagerly, his heart racing with excitement. He wanted to be the apprentice of the storm. The next day, Eli returned to the river. Aaron was waiting for him, and they began their journey. Aaron took Eli to a tall mountain that was said to be the home of the storm spirits. They climbed for hours, Eli gasping and stumbling as he tried to keep up with his mentor. When they reached the top, the wind howled around them, and dark clouds began to gather. Aaron raised his arms, and suddenly the storm stopped. Eli watched in awe as his mentor spoke to the clouds, calling on the storm spirits. "Feel the power, Eli," Aaron said, guiding him. "Listen to what they say." Eli closed his eyes, feeling the wind rush past him. He could almost hear whispers in the air. But before he could grasp anything, the storm erupted into a full-blown tempest. Lightning flashed and thunder roared. Eli was scared. The storm was more powerful than he had imagined. "Focus!" Aaron shouted over the noise. "You must find calm within the chaos." Eli took a deep breath and tried to find his center. He remembered why he wanted this. He wanted to protect his village from storms that could destroy everything. As he focused, he felt warmth growing inside him. With a sudden surge of determination, he lifted his hands. "Please, calm down," he called out. To his astonishment, the storm began to settle. The wind slowed, and the rain fell gently like a soft blanket. "Very good, Eli," Aaron exclaimed, pride in his voice. "But you have much to learn." Days turned into weeks, and Eli trained diligently. He learned how to listen to the storms, to honor them, and to work with them rather than against them. Alongside him was Mira, a girl from the village, who was also eager to learn. She was brave and quick-witted, always ready to help Eli with his lessons. One day, as they practiced together, they heard a loud rumble in the distance. A storm was brewing, and it sounded angry. The villagers were afraid, as the last storm had destroyed their crops. Eli and Mira decided they had to stop it. They raced to the mountain, hearts pounding. Aaron met them with a worried expression. "The storm is fierce today. You must work together," he said. With Aaron's guidance, Eli and Mira stood side by side. The wind whipped around them, and thunder echoed like drums. They closed their eyes and reached out to the storm. "Eli, focus on the wind." Mira shouted, "We can do this together." Eli imagined the wind flowing through him, while Mira visualized the storm calming down. They joined their energies, and together they shouted for the storm to listen. For a moment, it felt like nothing happened, but then the angry clouds began to change. They turned from dark gray to soft silver. The wind softened, and a gentle rain began to fall. They opened their eyes in disbelief. They had done it. The storm was calmed, and the village was safe. The villagers cheered and celebrated their victory. Aaron looked at them proudly. "You both have learned the most important lesson. It's not just about power, but the bond you share and your respect for nature." With each passing season, Eli and Mira became known as the protectors of the storm. They helped their village prepare for storms and taught others about the power of nature. They were no longer just villagers. They were masters of the winds. But as they grew older, they noticed that storms were changing. Some were stronger, and their power was harder to control. One day, a storm unlike any other appeared on the horizon. It was wild and furious, a swirling mass of dark clouds. Eli felt a pang of fear in his heart. They climbed the mountain again, unsure what to expect. The storm roared louder than ever, and lightning cracked the sky. "This one is different," Mira shouted over the noise. Eli nodded, feeling the intensity of the storm in his bones. They closed their eyes to find their focus. As they breathed deeply, they realized they had combined all they had learned. Aaron stood beside them, his presence a calming force. "You have the skills, but trust in one another." With confidence, Eli and Mira joined their hands. They sank deep into their feelings and let the storm wash over them. The thunder crashed, but they stood firm. They called upon the energy they had cultivated over the years. Slowly, the storm began to lose its wildness. Eli and Mira felt connection, not just to the storm, but to each other. With one final push, they raised their arms together, and the storm calmed, drifting away as if it had never been there. They landed on the mountaintop, breathless but triumphant. The village was safe once again. From that day, Eli and Mira understood their true power lay in their bond, an apprentice and a keeper of the storm. As they gazed at the horizon, they knew more storms would come, but together they would face them all. Eli had found his place, not just as an apprentice of the storm, but as its partner. And with Mira by his side, they would protect their village for years to come.